All right, welcome to the show today, everybody. We have put together a show that I think you'll find interesting, intriguing, packed full of some information that we've been gathering. And I've got to tell you, there was a video. Well, we'll get there later. So let's start this thing out with I've got to go back to May. And just so you guys know, it is this video pertains to Nevada, but it's far-reaching in other states as well. But I'm talking specifically about Nevada information right now, as we are being led by a king tyrant, and it is causing us. It's causing a lot of people a lot of problem. Displaced workers is crazy in Nevada, and as it is in other places, I am sure. Again, like I said, this is specifically about Nevada. Good morning, Brother Eddie. Today is, what is the date today? It's not the 4th. That's kind of funny. My computer shows that it is the 4th. Today is July 10th, 2020. Again, welcome to the show. Got a few people on now. You're going to have to bear with me. It's going to be a little long, but I'll tell you what, it'd be worthy of the time to watch it. So let me pull up this. Let's just start pulling some things up and going over a few things real quick here. Let's see how good this will let me do today. A lot of times I get censored right down to being shut off. So let's see if we can get through this today. On May 20th, 2020 at 1:09 p.m., AOC tweeted out the following tweet. It's vital that governors maintain restrictions on businesses until after the November elections because economic recovery will help Trump be reelected. A few business closures or job losses is a small price to pay to be free from his parents' presidency. Hashtag keep us closed. There you have it. She does not care about you or I. She doesn't care about the lady that I'm going to show in a video here in a minute that can't pay her bills. These people don't care about you and I. Unfortunately, they were somehow elected. How they got put in, it never ceases to amaze me. But they don't care about the worker. They don't care about the lady in the video that I'm going to show here in a minute that does not have a job, cannot get the public assistance that she was promised, and cannot pay her bills. So, without further ado, let's move on. In the state of Nevada, we have been told that sorry folks, here we go. We get started on this already. So good morning, man. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Going to talk a little bit about Nevada and some of the things that are being imposed on us here. We're pretty much shut down again, and I will play. It's kind of funny. The governor did a press conference last night, and I went to get it this morning, and he had deleted it off of his site. But my expert staff found the video that somebody had did a watch party on. We're going to play it in here as well, so it will be here for everyone to see whenever they want it. It cannot. I'm not going to delete it. All right, so let's move on. So they've got OSHA, and in the end of this, I'm going to call OSHA, and we're going to see if we can get some answers. I called them yesterday, and I got transferred 3 times, and then got a voicemail. Nobody wanted to answer my questions. So I'm going to do it live today on the show so that the people can see the response that we get from OSHA, because we're being told that OSHA is going to business, and if they're not wearing masks, if the people aren't wearing masks, the businesses are not enforcing it, that they're going to be fined and possibly shut down by OSHA. You know, I've been in the construction industry for many years, and OSHA is the governing body. It's the OSHA rules that we follow. It's the reason why we wear a hard hat and stuff. I just don't see that they have the resources to go door to door, business to business. But this is what the governor, Steve Sisolak, in Nevada is putting out. And the mayors are pushing it on the people. And the people, they're in fear of losing their businesses, so they're following these goofy guidelines. Let's pull this up here. Sorry, folks, I got to do all this on my own, so it takes just a second. But I want to show you these slides as we go along. Let's make this one big here and get rid of me for a minute. I'll still talk to you. So this right here is out of the state of Nevada OSHA webpage. I went and looked it up, read through it. Steve Sisolak, Governor Steve Sisolak's got his name right up here on top of it, right there where I highlighted. And it is a letter dated June 26th, 2020, to whom it may concern. The scope of this letter, and I'm not going to read through it, it's like 5 pages long. It's in the show notes. If you want to grab it, go to the show notes and grab it. And I've got it printed out here. I'm keeping a copy of this. Updated guidance for business operating in Phase 2 of Nevada United Roadmap to Recovery Plan. And then it goes through and it lists their guidance suggestions is the way I read guidance. Guidance is giving somebody guidance. Whether they choose to follow that guidance or not is up to them, as far as I know, as far as I've been taught. But at any rate, so it goes down through and it talks about the social distancing, the allowing not more than so many people to congregate. We get down here to face coverings, and it says that all employers must provide face coverings for their employees assigned to serving the public, and shall require these employees to wear the face coverings. Shall require. That's not a suggestion. That's a directive. And then they reference Declaration of Emergency Directive number 021, Section 12, which was put out by the governor. All employers must require employees to wear the face coverings in any space where food is prepared or packaged for sale or generally distributed to others. All businesses are required to mandate the use of face coverings by patrons, customers, patients, or clients, and will inform all patients, customers, and patrons and clients of the requirement prior to their entry into the establishment, with the exceptions delineated in Section 7, and then they have some exceptions if you have medical or asthma. But you know, there's like five different exceptions to that rule. Then it goes down and it says, and this is all on the employer. So if you wonder why you go to the grocery store and they require you, or they request that you wear a mask, this is why. It's coming down from the governor. And I have been one that I get vocal. I can't lay down and watch my freedom and my liberty go away without standing up. So I'm one that makes a comment and leaves. It's not the person at the door. And I've got to realize this. You guys have got to realize this. It's not that person that's doing it. They're doing what they're told. They've got kids at home they probably need to feed. And so they're doing what they're told by their employer that writes their paycheck, right? The employer's taking the directives from their mayors, their governors, in fear of losing their jobs because they're being told that their businesses will be shut down permanently. They'll lose business licensing and stuff like that. Then it goes into social distancing and just talks about keeping your 6 feet of social distancing where infeasible. Let's see, is infeasible and impractical. The following measures are required to be implemented by the employer when employees are conducting specific job functions where 6 feet of social distancing is infeasible and impractical. Okay, so if you can stay 6 feet apart, you don't have to wear the mask, right? Well, no, that's not right, because now they're threatening you if you don't wear the mask. So they've gone back on that. So then it talks about the social distancing and the practice of the 6 feet and blah, 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 blah. And then training your staff, social distancing during breaks, lunches, dinners, and other slack periods. So then they go into, while you're on your lunch hour, if you're in the parking lot, you can't congregate and stuff like that. This stuff is crazy. And here is the sheet. This is the end of it. At the end of it, in highlights right here, underlined highlights, it says, this guidance is subject to revision as additional information is gathered. Please check here frequently for the updates. I just printed this off and gathered it last night, so it's probably as current as it can get. We had, as I mentioned earlier, a press conference by the governor, which you will hear in its entirety here in just a minute, shutting down parts of our economy once again, shutting down people's jobs, keeping people from being able to feed their families. If you have questions, call the number below. So if anybody has any questions, take this number down. If you can see it, let me see if I can get it bigger here. I don't want to get bigger. 702-486-9020. His name is Jess Lankford, Chief Administrative Officer of Nevada OSHA. Once again, 702-486-9020. It's funny, when I don't want this to get bigger, it gets bigger, and then when I want it to, I can't get it to do it. So there you have it, Jess Lankford, OSHA, Nevada. When I called the general line and no one direct, and like I said, I got passed off 3 times and then got sent to a voicemail. So if you call, good luck, but maybe if you call this guy, I did not call him direct. If his name's on the bottom of this paper, he's not the one I want to talk to. I don't think. I want to talk to somebody else. I want some straight answers. I don't want somebody that's a pawn of Governor Steve Sisolak. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. The Chamber of Commerce here in Mesquite, Nevada, put up the following, let me pull it up, put up the following flyer on social media, and I've got the flyer here. In doing so, they said right in their post, and I meant to have it pulled up, but I forgot to do it, so I don't have it, and I'm not going to make you wait for me to find it. In their post, it said that Nevada OSHA will be going door to door, business to business, enforcing the mask rule or law. I can't remember how they worded it, but I still haven't been able to find the law on it, as these people, other than OSHA don't call it a law, they call it a guideline, but then they say you shall do it. So it's really misleading as to the information you're getting. Can OSHA shut the businesses down for not complying? That's a question for attorneys, and I am not one. I am a redneck hillbilly that questions everything. I don't take anything for face value. I question, and so these are the answers that I'm coming up with in my avid research. So this is the flyer, and it just tells you to cover up. And the CDC and prevention recommends wearing a face covering to help prevent the spread of the coronavirus. It's kind of funny because the CDC guideline I saw said that they don't work for COVID-19. Just a little side note there. All right, let's watch this video real quick. I've got a video here of, it's a lady that the channel 13 News, I believe it's in Las Vegas. Yes, Las Vegas. They interviewed a lady, and it really tells the message of the people, where we're at, what we're dealing with. And as I said, these politicians, they don't care about you and me. They don't care. They care about following their directives from whomever is pulling their strings. So let's watch this real quick.
Are waiting in agony as state workers try to process their claims. 13 Action News reporter Jeremy Chen is live. And Jeremy, what is Governor Steve Sisolak telling these families tonight?
Yeah, Todd and Trish, in short, Governor Sisolak is saying pretty much that DETR, the state's unemployment agency, is doing its best, and it's also bound by federal guidelines. However, a mother I spoke with says that's not enough.
Every night I go to bed crying because I don't know what else to do.
It's a feeling of desperation for Cindy Jones, still waiting to get her checks for PUA. She was approved to receive payments, but still hasn't seen money come into her bank account for weeks. Jones tried calling DETR multiple times a day to resolve issues.
Nobody can help you. They send you back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
She says other members of her family are facing the same issues, not getting their payments. Jones says she can't survive for much longer.
We're lost. We've lost our car. We are on the verge of losing our home.
I'm sorry. I wish we could get to him quicker.
Governor Steve Sisolak says he understands the frustrations of some applicants, but says most applicants are being paid and DETR is doing its best.
No program was set up that could have possibly remotely anticipated this kind of a demand. It just didn't exist. I mean, nobody had ever contemplated.
DETR is now facing a class action lawsuit over the lack of payments. The judge hasn't ruled, but said he expects better. Governor Sisolak says the process has taken some time as DETR investigates about 10,000 cases of fraud. He says the filing attorney's suggestion to just simply pay all accepted applicants at once and then try to get money back from possibly fraudulent claims could violate Department of Labor regulations.
If we don't follow those rules, we jeopardize everybody's payments, and that's not something I'm willing to do. We need to be cautious on this. Yes, would I like to get the people faster? Of course. But we're doing it as quickly as we can. They continue to bring more people on board.
Jones says she wants to see more action from the governor.
He needs to get more involved. Instead of making us feel like he doesn't care, because that's how my whole family feels, is that it doesn't matter to him because he's getting a paycheck.
And Jones says that if she does not get her money from Dieter within the next few days, she plans on joining that lawsuit. Jeremy Chen, 13.
All right, so there is one lady's dilemma. Can't work. If you work in a bar or non-essential businesses in Nevada, you're not working. You can't get your government money. Unemployment. There's people waiting that's been waiting since the beginning of this to get their unemployment. They can't get it. And the governor is so concerned. He is so concerned about you and me and her and all the other families, whether it's single parent, double parent families, whatever the case might be, families with children that can't make ends meet. They can't make their car payment. They can't make their rent, their mortgage. He don't care. You want me to tell you why I can say that? Because last night he shut down more businesses, and we're going to watch that video here in a minute. Now, I got to tell you, I've already told you once, but that video has already disappeared off of his site. I could not find it. I watched it live last night and didn't think to watch party it or something. I went to get it this morning. It was gone. But like I said, my expert staff found it where somebody had done a watch party, so it was saved on their social media. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I was just gonna play a part of it, but I've decided I'm gonna play the whole thing, so hopefully you'll bear with me and get through that. It's just a few, I don't know, it's like 13 minutes long or something. Let me look here. It is, it's 20 minutes long. I'm gonna play it. If we get to a point where it's where it just doesn't really pertain, I'll stop it. But I do want that video, so we're gonna play that. Right here, let me pull up this next slide for you folks. I did screenshot his post last night. The post that's not there any longer. It is gone. It has disappeared. It is not there. Let's see if I can make this one bigger. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So, this is off of Fox 5 Las Vegas. Governor Sisolak has issued a directive ordering bars in some Nevada counties must return to Phase 1 shutdown starting 11:59 p.m. on Friday. So, they're shut down tonight. He closes bars in Clark and Washoe counties. They must return to Phase 1 on Friday. He got a lot of heck, and you're going to see it in the next video that I show. When they start questioning him, he comes undone. He does not handle the questions well. He's a man that does not want to be questioned. He wants to rule you. He doesn't want to work to help you. And, you know, I got to say this. It is sad to say that some of you people out there elected this man. Now, I know in Clark, and I'm assuming Washoe County is over, I'm not sure where it's at, but I'm assuming it's over by Reno, Carson area. Between Clark County and that area, you have the majority of the Nevada voters, the population. You have the population. And it's sad to say that they vote blue. It's a blue area, and so Nevada has been, for as long as I remember, Harry Reid, these Democrat governors that are destroying this state. This was once a very prosperous state in the gold boom, the resources here, the location of it, Las Vegas, and they are destroying this place. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I'm over here playing with the thing. So let's watch his video. I think it's up next. And see what he has to say. And then we will go from there. If you bear with me, please. It's, like I said, it's 20 minutes long. and then we'll be back on here. But I do want to play it because I think it's important that we save copies of some of the stuff that disappears, right? They say it and then delete it real quick, like AOC did. She got hers when only like 22,000 people had viewed it. So she got it pretty quick. But they do this, and they do it. HRC does it all the time. And if you're on her stream and you see a thing, and you see a tweet, you better grab it. Because if it's controversial at all, which it's going to be, it's going to disappear. That shit magically disappears. So let me pull this video up here, and let's watch the Nevada governor and spew his hate and discontent for this beautiful country that we live in, this wonderful country, America, that is the last standing free country in the world. The whole world is watching what's happening here because the whole world depends on what goes on with America. We are the last standing free place, period. And once it's gone, it's gone. And it would be damn hard to get it back. You all know that. It would be very tough. Let's play this video. Bear with me again. Thank you guys for joining me today. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. Please share the information with your friends, family, whomever. And we need to do something. And so that's why I get on here. Put the information out there. We need to be involved. We need to be involved in our communities with our school districts, especially get on the school board. We need to flood those school districts with good, patriotic Americans and get these kids back to learning where we came from, why we developed, why this country developed, why we are who we are, and why it's important for us to remain who we are. All right, enough of me. Let's watch this. I can talk forever. Most of you know that.
Everybody set? Good afternoon. I want to thank you all for being here this afternoon, especially on such short notice. I know the focus right now has been on the special session of the Nevada legislature, where lawmakers are weighing proposals to balance a $1.2 billion budget deficit. These proposals before lawmakers are not ones that my office or any state agency proposed lightly. Our state agency directors have had to make painful reductions in their own departments, and while necessary, the reductions are difficult to see and to live with. I'm proud of the work my state agency heads who have dedicated themselves to providing services and helping us navigate an unprecedented situation for the last 4 months. They've also stepped up to help address our fiscal crisis by proposing solutions to our budget shortfall. Just like me, I know this was daunting and a very painful task. As your governor, I will continue to advocate for federal funding to help provide relief to Nevadans and to our state and local budgets so we may continue to provide essential services to Nevadans and hopefully restore some of the proposed reductions. That includes requesting more federal support to retain 600 members of the Nevada National Guard through the end of December. Because of this partnership, Nevada has seen remarkable increases in our ability to conduct community-based testing, lab capacity, contact tracing, and other critical capabilities for our effort to remain open and keep our state in a safe and responsible manner. The need for close cooperation and mutual assistance between the federal government and Nevada remains greater than ever, and I am hopeful that the federal government will grant this request. These difficult budget situations we are now in is a direct result of the public health crisis caused by COVID-19. And while we must turn our attention to the historic budget shortfall, we cannot forget that we are still in the midst of a highly contagious and deadly pandemic. And many areas throughout Nevada are currently experiencing a spike. As you know, we are currently holding in phase 2 of our public roadmap to recovery plan, allowing our medical, public health, and emergency response professionals to evaluate and analyze new trends that have shown a continuous upward trend of new cases daily. We have taken steps to slow the spread, including increasing our contact tracing efforts to make sure that Nevadans who may have been exposed to the virus are aware and can take the appropriate actions to safeguard their health and the health of others. We've also extended phase 2 until at least the end of July and implemented a mandatory face coverings directive, which took place at the end of June. I have been pleased to see that state and local officials working with businesses and communities to enforce these important measures. Nevadans, by and large, continue to heed the call to protect themselves, protect each other, and protect our state. We're aware that it will take several weeks for the mitigations that we have put in place to reflect on our case data, but these measures will help us battle this virus. While we know the case data may take some time to reflect the changes, the state has also been watching compliance efforts led by OSHA and complemented by efforts in counties and cities. OSHA has completed more than 1,500 initial observations, so far with a compliance rate of 79%. That means 1/5 of the businesses visited by OSHA inspectors are not in compliance with our measures, and this is simply unacceptable. We are still watching the continued increase in our confirmed and suspected COVID-19 hospitalizations as well. As many of you know, the trends are more than concerning in certain counties in our state. Across the country, we have seen far too many instances where hospital capacity appeared fine one day and then were overwhelmed the next with increased COVID-19 patients. We do not want this to happen here, so we will do what we must to make sure that our hospitals are able to provide the best positive care to all patients. Today, my office had a call with representatives from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Federal Emergency Management Agency. While discussing Nevada's data and using other states' data as guides, the federal representatives advised us that if Nevada did not take swift policy action to prevent the spread of COVID-19 throughout our state, we would likely soon be in a precarious condition where hospitals are overwhelmed with patients in the very near future. This information, based on the increasing trends we've been experiencing, led me to my decision today. The decision is based on targeting high-risk areas where infection is more likely to occur. That is why tonight I am announcing that as of 11:59 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, July 10th, bars in certain counties in Nevada will be returning to similar restrictions laid out in Phase 1 of our Nevada United Roadmap to Recovery. We know that COVID can easily spread when people are congregating for long periods of time, like inside a bar. In states where we have seen significant spikes, such as Arizona, Texas, and Florida, they have all taken actions to roll back bars. Recently, Dr. Fauci, the U.S. top infectious disease expert, advised that congregating in bars poses a significant risk and is one of the most dangerous things people could do right now. We must heed his advice. Additionally, I'm concerned because based on our inspection thus far, fewer than half of the bars that OSHA inspectors have visited have been found to be in compliance. Right now, our HHS teams are confirming the criteria that would designate a county in Nevada as a hotspot. Tomorrow, I will be releasing that criteria and the names of the counties that will be required to close bars tomorrow, beginning at 11:59 p.m. per this directive. Just like in Phase 1, this applies to bars and taverns that do not serve food. They can still provide curbside pickup and delivery where allowed locally, but they can no longer have patrons on the premises. Restaurants with bar areas must close the bar areas to patrons and continue to limit capacity to 50%. Customers seated at tables can still be served alcohol, but they cannot congregate in the bar area or be served at the bar. All bar tops will be closed, regardless of whether they have gaming machines installed. In addition to the rollback in certain counties, I am also adding a new statewide restrictions in this directive. All restaurants and other food establishments like pubs, breweries, distilleries, or wineries, which are licensed to serve food, may not seat parties larger than 6 people, indoors or outdoors. And while this directive does not prohibit indoor dining, I am strongly encouraging all food establishments to promote outdoor dining as much as possible as well. This measure will go into effect Friday at 11:59 p.m. and will stay in place until further notice. I am hopeful we will see a downward trend in numbers so we can continue to reopen safely. And while not into the directive today, I want to assure all Nevadans and visitors that we are monitoring other areas where fellow states have taken action. Areas like swimming pools and gyms. I want to be crystal clear. Unless you are actively walking into a pool, swimming in a pool, or walking out of a pool, you should have a face covering on at all times. It's as simple as that. And when it comes to gyms, you must wear a face covering at all times unless you are actively engaged in a high-intensity workout. And if that's the case, you must be at least 6 feet apart from other people. And when I say gyms, I am including yoga and Pilates and dance and the other things that are associated that people do for physical exercise. We will continue to monitor compliance in these areas as well as follow the COVID-19 data and continue to evaluate and take action as necessary. Again, these decisions are not decisions that are easy to make or decisions that I take lightly, especially while lawmakers just sat down and are evaluating the budget reductions the state has put forward. We know that additional business closures will further affect our economy and impede our economic recovery. When we began reopening, I committed that we would remain flexible and let data and recommendations of public health and emergency management professionals dictate the best course of action for protecting Nevadans. I've committed to being transparent and honest with Nevadans since this all started, and that's exactly why I'm here today and what I'm doing today. Protecting the health and safety of Nevadans is and always will be my top priority. Right now, that means re-implementing some of these restrictions in order to save lives and protect our healthcare system. And it means reminding Nevadans that some simple truths that have not changed throughout this pandemic. We are safer at home. If we must go out, we're safer when we wear masks and practice social distancing. We must remember to wash our hands and avoid touching our faces. And I'm just going to go off script here. Masks are not partisan. They're not political. They're not a joke. They're not funny. They're not things that people go to social media and make all kinds of, comments and funny jokes about and think that they're being cute. It is costing lives to have people not mask. And to be totally effective with face coverings, we need a 95% compliance to really flatten the curve and slow the spread. And I ask everyone that is watching, listening, reading, please protect our state, protect your family, protect our neighbors, wear a mask. Thank you for your time, and I'd be happy to take a few questions. Yeah, Bill, go ahead. Sure, yeah. The decisions that we made were made on advice of medical professionals, like I mentioned, Dr. Fauci, our own medical professionals. The data that we have arrived that is one of the places that we're developing, that we're recognizing as a part of the hotspots, and it's found to be, in talking to my colleague governors, it's the biggest area, so that's why we started with bars. Boy, I was, and that is a question that, believe me, has cost me a lot of night's sleep. I said at the beginning I didn't want ticket writers, right? And then people don't wear a mask or don't comply. We worked with businesses, and like I say, the good part is 79% of the businesses do comply. They're following our directives, and they're protecting their employees, they're protecting customers, they're protecting all the citizens. Sadly, 20% of them are not complying. And the 20% are undoing the good that the 79% are doing. So we have active investigations going, both on the Gaming Control Board side, on the OSHA side, the county licensing, the city licensing departments, in order to bring people into compliance. It was my hope and continues to be my hope that these businesses will realize that it's in everybody's best interest to enforce these simple regulations that we put forward. They were concerned not just with the high number of positives, and there's some of the agencies got great graphs that deals with this, and we've got it on our dashboard. The Indy has it on their dashboard. Positives are important, but our positives are going up. 20 to 25% of them are directly related to contact tracing. That we're testing a pool of individuals that are more likely to have the virus. They have informed us that they were concerned about our positivities, and they're concerned, as I am, about our hospital capacities. When you need a hospital room, you need an ICU room, you need it now. You don't need it next week. You need it when you're the most sick. And these cases are surging, and you can see these dashboards when you look at them. They're going up 40, 50, 60 a day. We can only take so many days of that before we're overwhelmed. And you have to implement procedures before you get to that part, because there's going to be a lag period to get there. So that led to the decision. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Cole. Well, like I say, we're developing the matrix, and we're going to have it in the directives, which specific. It's obvious that the largest two counties, Clark and Washoe, are included in the directive. But some of the counties, and I understand, have had 0 or 1 case. And, we don't want to, implement a restriction there if it might not be necessary. So we're going through that. We'll have those criteria made available tomorrow morning and a list of those counties, but certainly the biggest two counties you're going to see included. Yeah.
So you said that you're going to continue to monitor locations like hotel pools and casino floors. Mr. Cage, Dr. Keith outlined similar compliance rates for those locations earlier in the week. What more information are you looking for in determining the future of openings and closures in those locations?
Yeah, pools is a little bit more complicated, because you've got your hotel pools, you got your gym pools, you've got your community association pools, you've got a wide variety of these pools that have different aspects to them. We have currently 50% capacity at all pools, but our inspectors and our monitors are going to be focusing closely on those, and water parks has come into this, be focusing closely on those facilities and see how if they are complying, not just with the capacity and the social distancing, but with the mask wearing. We're having a problem in that area. We've made it clear to those operators that they will be scrutinized very, very closely. The same is true in gyms. Some of them have been a lot better than others have. And that's why I mentioned some of the smaller studios, the yogas and Pilates and spin classes and that sort of thing, don't necessarily feel that they're a gym. Well, they're a gym. So they're going to be under the same restrictions. Pardon me?
Casino floors?
I can't hear you.
Casino floors?
Casino floors, you're wearing a mask now. So that's already being enforced. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, and I can't speak to the specific which one that is, and I don't expect you to give me the name of the two restaurants or the bar. But those are usually under different licenses. A restaurant has to have a certain amount of their business being done for my county days in terms of food sales. You can't open up, call it a restaurant, and just serve alcohol. Now, if he's in the middle, you can still serve alcohol in a restaurant. If it's served at a service bar, or the waiter or waitress gets it at the bar and takes it to the table, that's okay. But a patron cannot go up to the bar or sit at the physical bar and drink.
Governor, we're going to request that you repeat the question for reporters before walking through the minutes.
Okay. Yes.
Governor, I know you said you were encouraging restaurants to promote outdoor dining, but will there be any specific guidelines for those establishments on what they should do in that scenario?
Yeah, the question was that we're encouraging outdoor dining, and will there be any specifics as it relates to that? That's a local issue that, you know, they have regarding some restaurants are suitable for outdoor dining, others are not suitable for outdoor dining. It's just been proven that it's safer than indoor dining. And I ask them to advise their local health districts or business license departments if in fact they can serve food outside. Yeah.
Time for one more for the governor. Governor, you got some criticism today from folks that say you're not leading enough on trying to raise revenue to deal with this budget hole. What response do you have to people that say you need to be doing more, you need to be lobbying to try to get this done?
The question was, I've received criticism that I'm not leading enough to raise revenue and to deal with the budget situation, I guess. I don't get to sleep a lot anymore. I don't get to rest a lot anymore. And when I do try to sleep, it's not been very sound sleep. These decisions are weighing very, very heavily on me. I will reiterate what I said in 6 different interviews yesterday. I'm happy to look at revenue sources, but I am not naive. It takes a Republican vote in the Senate to say they support revenue increases. And I'm willing to listen. They all have my phone number. Nobody has called since this has been brought up. Nobody has come and said, here's my proposal to raise more revenue. I have to be realistic. We couldn't raise revenue in the last session. Raising in a special session is not going to be any easier. If anybody in the Republican Senate side wants to raise their hand and say, here I am, Governor, I'm supporting revenue increases, let's talk, we can have a much broader discussion. I haven't seen that hand go up. So I'm hopeful that it will, but I will leave that to the legislature to make that call. I mean, we spent a long time, and I got a compliment here, and I'm going to say something that, well, I'm going to say it anyway. I've got cabinet heads, department heads going over to the legislature, and they're getting beat up. I'm expected to get beat up. I ran for this job. I'm getting criticized every single day. No matter what I do, I get that. All the cute posts and comments that people make. My staff and my cabinet heads don't deserve that. I mean, they are working overtime. They're working as hard as is humanly possible, and they are consistently criticized. That's not fair. So if they want to criticize, here I am.
Do you have anything to say to the folks that are suing the state leader right now, and we're going to see a report next week, and a potential writ of mandamus? Do you have any comment on the latest development?
Well, and I answered this question again at the interviews yesterday. It's the same answer. I listened to the hearing. I watched it. I understand people's frustration. I'm frustrated. The judge said he doesn't want good, he doesn't want great, he wants iconic. At the same time, and it's important that the media point this out to people, we are bound by certain federal guidelines and rules. We have to follow those. If I don't follow the guidelines that the Department of Labor puts out, I will put the entire system and everybody's funds in jeopardy. They can come in and say, you didn't screen people, you didn't vet them, you're cut off, and you got to pay us back. Now, if I were to do that and just pay everybody, I'm going to be getting the same criticism. People are going to say, why'd you do that to us for, Governor? Everything was going fine. We are working with the situation as best we possibly can. We're adding more people. We're adding more technology. I know people are frustrated. I appreciate that, and I know they say that's not enough. My apology isn't enough. I don't have any more to give.
Thank you, everyone else. That's all we have time for today. We'll get to the
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, guys.
Well, there you have it. Governor Steve Sisolak telling you how he's going to finish destroying the great state of Nevada. And we the people, can't let it happen. We have to be involved. You have to get involved. As you've seen by the comments, I kept putting them up there because it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't see a positive comment in that whole freaking thing. I can tell you that it don't matter what color a flag flies on your voting roster. People are getting fed up with the bull. Blue flags, red flags, it doesn't matter. The people are getting to their wits' end with it. People aren't stupid. We can do our own research, most of us. There are some. I had a very, very good debate last night with some people over this and whatnot, and it was all over these businesses enforcing us to follow a bullshit order, and I won't do it. So we take our business elsewhere where we don't have tyrants telling us that we have to wear a mask to go buy groceries. Excuse me, folks, my coffee. Cheers for y'all. My patriotic cup is in the dishwasher, so I'm having to use my logo cup. We do our shopping elsewhere, and we spent a lot of money last weekend in a different community so that we could enjoy our 4th of July. We could enjoy our independence, our freedom, our Liberty Day. The day that the day that we became free Americans. They had so many mandates over here. You can't do this, you can't do that. If some of the places didn't have fireworks at all, most of them shut down parades and all that kind of stuff. Any activities and things like that. Some of them had fireworks at night, but you couldn't get out of your car. You had to stay in your car, and they played music on a certain radio station so that you could hear the music and watch the fireworks from the comfort of your car. What in the hell? How do you you're trying to see the fireworks and they're coming up in your window, and then you got the top of your car here, and how is that an experience, a good experience? I don't know. I don't get it. Tell me. Anyway, we went to a different community where we didn't have to do that. We went to a parade with hundreds of other people. We went to activities all day long with hundreds of other people. And we went with hundreds of other people and sat on the park grass and laid on a blanket and watched the fireworks above our heads and could see everything and hear it and smell it. I love the smell like gunpowder. It's crazy. And we dropped a $500 bill on that trip. We traveled almost 6 hours each way. And I'll tell you what, it was well worth it, and I'll do it again. I will not cater to these people. Now, so the governor's on there talking about the money shortage and stuff. He's trying to justify his inability to control his budget because he took delivery of a $26 million plane. How many unemployment checks could the state of Nevada write for $26 million? 26 million. How many? A lot. How many people could have got their welfare check that needs it off that $26 million jet? New jet. We need a new jet. Because I need to fly my happy ass out of here because the people of Nevada are getting mad at me. As you could see in the comments, there wasn't a happy person in there that I saw. I didn't see anybody defend them. So, the people have had it. Anyway, you know, he can't sleep at night, and oh, I feel so bad for him. He can't sleep at night, and he can't do this, and he can't do that, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And, you know, he read his script. It makes you wonder, makes me wonder, it should make you wonder, who wrote it? Who wrote that? Whose orders is he following? It's not the federal government. He's full of crap on that, because I watch what the federal government has to say. I watch what the leader of our country has to say about this. I also know that these governors and mayors and leaders of these states that are tyrannical, that are stepping on our constitutional rights, that are forcing bullshit mandates, I know that there will be a day of reckoning for them by the federal government. Watch, hide and watch. Watch this and see. All right, let's I guess I'm pretty much done. I don't know how long this is. It used to have a timer on here and it don't anymore. I hope I'm broadcasting live. I think I am. Is there anybody on here that can give me a thumbs up in the comment section? Let me see here.
I guess it's not been very sound. These decisions are way.
I was broadcasting when he was
broadcasting live.
Oh yeah, we're good.
I am.
We're still there, so I don't know. I don't know why it doesn't show me. So I have no idea how long we've been on here. I try to keep these at about an hour, power hour with Johnny. All right, let's see if we can get. Let's see what OSHA has to say about it, because I'm kind of concerned about the way the way they're handling things in this state. I don't hear that in other states. Going door to door. I don't see them having the resources. I said this earlier. I've been in construction a long time, and I don't think I've ever seen one checking on our site. How the hell would they go to business in every business in any given county? They're not. Those guys are lying to you, and you're buying it. You're buying the bullshit. Let's make a call here. Let's see what we can come up with. Let's see if these people will talk to us today.
Thank you for calling the Division of Industrial Relations. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., excluding holidays. To reach the Division Administrator's Office, please press 1. For the Nevada Occupational Safety and Health Administration, please press 2. To reach the Safety Consultation and Training section, press 3. Thank you for calling the Nevada Occupational Safety and Health Administration. To file a report regarding a hazardous condition in the workplace, press 1. To file a whistleblower complaint regarding retaliation for voicing safety or health concerns in the workplace, press 2. For questions regarding asbestos or photovoltaic licensing, press 3. For all other inquiries, please press 4. Nevada State OSHA, good morning. I'm returning a call.
Good morning. Hey, my name's John, and I'm calling to find out some information about this whole mask wearing thing. Can you direct me to somebody that can answer some questions about that for me? I need to know what laws cover that and stuff. I'm kind of curious. It's got me I'm being told so many different things, and you know, to go to the horse's mouth is usually the best thing. So if you could direct me, I would appreciate it.
Okay, so hold on please, sir. Let me transfer your call right now.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. Happy to hold on.
Jacob Hamack is not available. Record your message after the tone. When you've finished, you can hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, my name is John. I am calling in reference to this mask mandate. I've got some questions and I can't seem to find answers, and I'm getting all kinds of mixed information about it. So I always like to go right to the horse's mouth and get the information right from the source. So the question that I have is, we're being told in some areas, but not in all areas, but we're being told that OSHA is enforcing the mask wearing guideline, or is it a law? See, some people are saying it's a guideline. I printed out your document that's on the web page, and it says that it is a guideline, but then somewhere in there it says that you shall wear one. I'm just trying to find out what, man, I am confused. I would appreciate it if you would help me get to the bottom of this thing. I need to know, I guess my question, what would clear it up for me is what is the law citation and what is the penalty phase for not following that law? If you could give me a call back and help me understand this better, I would greatly appreciate it. My name's John. My number is 307-679-6242. If you would give me a call back, I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much, and have a great day. So that's what we did yesterday. I don't think they'll call me back. They haven't yet. They didn't yesterday. So, but they sent me right to a voicemail. This guy is not taking I think they've got a voicemail set up just for people like me. and you leave a voicemail and then you don't get any answers back, you know. So, like I said, I'm just confused about the whole thing. I'd like to get some clarification from OSHA. Like I said, I've been on the construction sites a long time, and I find it hard to believe. I just really do. I find it hard to believe that OSHA is out there going door to door, penalizing these businesses that are not enforcing the mask guideline, as they say in their own document. Oh, not that one. It's this one, and it is. Whoops, where am we? It is in the show notes. Click it, pull it up, print it, read it, whatever. If you're from Nevada, it pertains to you. If you're not, it probably doesn't, because I don't see it as being legitimate. So those are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the show today. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why the timer ain't up here telling me how long I've been on here. I try to watch that, keep these at an hour. Hope the information was helpful for you. Hope you enjoyed the show. Please share this message. Please share this message. Get this message out to people. We appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. Be safe. Be free. God bless you. God bless America. Peace.